Hello friends. Today what we'll do is we'll discuss about the effect of heat treatment on the hardness of mild steel. Now in material science, what you have studied is there are different types of heat treatment processes. We have annealing, normalizing, quenching and so on. And when we were discussing about microstructure, we know that we can change the properties of a material because we change the microstructure. And another important thing is whenever heat treatment is to be carried out, we refer to something called as RCT. Okay, so RCT stands for recrystallization temperature. So as the name itself suggests, recrystallization means only when you heat it up to that temperature, the crystals or the grains can be restructured. If you heat it below that, you will not be able to carry out any variation in the crystal structure. So what we do is we take mild steel, and this recrystallization temperature is normally in the range of about 40 to 60% of the melting point of that particular material. So if I, just as an assumption, if I assume that mild steel is going to melt at about 1200 degrees centigrade, so about 500 degrees centigrade will be the RCT, 500 to 600 degrees centigrade will be the recrystallization temperature. Now what we are going to do is we are going to take a mild steel specimen. You already know how to find out the Rockwell hardness number. So on this mild steel specimen, before we carry out the heat treatment, in fact we take two different specimens of mild steel, and we conduct the Rockwell hardness test and find out what is the Rockwell hardness number. So we are going to write those values, that is RHN before heat treatment. So we have already conducted, so we have 94, 98 and 92, and the average value is 94.6. So once this is done, what we do is we take both the specimens and we keep it in a furnace, okay, and adjust the temperature of the furnace maybe to about 450 degrees or 500 degrees, and once the temperature reaches that value, the specimen of course will have become red hot. So we open the furnace and take the specimen out. Okay, so one specimen will be used for annealing and the other one will be used for quenching. So obviously the one which is used for quenching, what we do is we take it out and immediately dip it in water. Actually you can do water quenching or you can do oil quenching also. And once we, but here we do it in water, so water quenching is done. After we dip it, obviously its temperature comes down to room temperature. So immediately we conduct the Rockwell hardness test once again and find out the values. So the values found out are 98, 100, 602, and the average is 102. Now for annealing, we need to carry out the process of cooling. Okay, so this cooling actually can be done in two ways. One is forced cooling and the other one is normal cooling. But for forced cooling you need an air draught. Since we don't want that to happen, what we do is we take that red hot specimen, we just place it and allow it to cool naturally. So in order to cool naturally and come down to room temperature, it will take about 2 hours, 1.5 to 2 hours. So after it reaches the room temperature, we again on that specimen conduct the Rockwell hardness test. So we obtain the values as, let's say, 95, 92 and 88, and the average is 91.7. So what, looking at these readings, what we understand is we can change the hardness of a material by different heat treatment processes. Just look at the values. Before heat treatment, the average value was 94.6. But after annealing, we obtained a value of 91.7. That means the surface has become slightly softer. The material was hard initially, now the surface has become softer after annealing. But if we quench, then we find that there is an increase in the hardness number. That means the surface becomes harder than as it was earlier. So I'll just show you the furnace where we are going to keep the specimen and conduct the experiment. The hardness testing machine you have already seen and understood about it. So this is the electric furnace in which the specimen will be kept. You can see that the temperature is getting indicated. For example, now it is about 61 degrees. Inside the temperature is about 61, 62 degrees. So here using this knob you can adjust to a given temperature, and the inside of the furnace will look something like this. which has a refractory lining, and you have some insulator, thermal insulators and so on. And since we are going to use smaller pieces of mild steel, we can easily keep them inside. Initially in a switched off condition, we are going to keep it inside, then close the door, put the knob, then adjust the temperature to the required value, and then switch it on so that it reaches the required temperature of about 450 or 500 degrees. Once it reaches the temperature, you can switch it off, open the door. Now obviously, since it is red hot or it is very hot, you cannot handle it with bare hands. You will have to use a pair of tongs. So using a pair of tongs, you will remove both the specimen. One, you will immediately quench it, and the other one, you will just keep it so that there is natural air cooling which takes place. That is annealing. So once you do that, you can again conduct the hardness test and find out the numbers. So that shows us the effect of heat treatment on mild steel. That is, if you carry out annealing, then the surface hardness decreases, but if you carry out quenching, the hardness increases. So this, you can also conduct tempering and other forms of heat treatment processes just to change the properties of the material. But this is the way in which heat treatment is going to affect the material properties. So that is all about the experiment. Thank you.